Elon Musk's insane new SpaceX nuclear rocket shocked the entire space industry. Elon Musk has always had visions of pushing the limits of what may appear to be impossible. The founder of the private company SpaceX has been working tirelessly on his Starship rocket, a massive next-generation rocket that Elon Musk hopes will soon carry humans to the moon and eventually to Mars. He recently hinted at a much larger and better nuclear-powered rocket that will carry large groups of people that will be fast and have a smooth launch. But what does this nuclear-powered rocket look like? Will it be able to transport millions of people to Mars? We'll go answer these questions today and clear up any confusion, so watch till the end and enjoy the video. Let's get started. SpaceX and its Starship rocket, which is a fully reusable and is a super heavy lift launch vehicle, have made Mars a central theme. Elon Musk founded the company with the goal of lowering space transportation costs, allowing for the colonization of Mars. The company has achieved numerous significant milestones as an American spacecraft manufacturer, space launch provider, and satellite communications corporation, paving the way for the first human mission to Mars. As a result, unlike many other proposals, SpaceX's Mars program is widely regarded as more feasible and has been taken more seriously by the space industry. Elon Musk has been working on the Starship rocket for nearly 2 years, ever since he publicly declared his desire to colonize Mars. Starship 2.0 is a massive next-generation rocket that Musk hopes will soon transport humans to the moon and eventually Mars. The minimum distance between Earth and Mars is approximately 33.9 million miles, and Musk hopes to send over 1 million people to the Red Planet by 2050. Musk said that in order for the colony to be self-sufficient, he would need to transport tons of other materials from Earth, which could amount to 1 million tons. Sending humans and other essential materials to Mars would be prohibitively expensive for SpaceX. Musk has to figure out cost-effective methods for humans to travel between planets. As a result, Elon Musk first introduced the Starship 1.0, which was too expensive but had its own capabilities and advantages. Now, because Starship 2.0 is far more capable of carrying things, it would be far more expensive than Starship 1.0. Voyager 1 and 2 were the fastest human spacecraft launched by NASA in separate months in the summer of 1977 to conduct close-up studies of Jupiter and Saturn, Saturn's rings, and the two planets' larger moons. It left the solar system in 2012 and is now traveling at a speed of 17 kilometers per second. It would take approximately 74,000 years to complete the journey. This is not a beneficial timescale for researchers to wait for their result. That is why scientists are looking for ways to shorten travel times. Ultra-safe nuclear technologies, based in Seattle, has proposed a solution: a nuclear thermal propulsion (NTP) engine that could transport humans from Earth to Mars in 3 months. An unnamed spacecraft can currently travel for 7 months, but a crewed mission is expected to take at least 9 months. Researchers are attempting to develop methods to capture the massive amount of energy released during fusion events and use it to power a propulsion system. A fusion-powered spacecraft could shorten the time it takes to reach Mars, thus accelerating the timeline for manned Mars missions. This type of spacecraft would mitigate the negative effects of radiation and weightlessness. Without nuclear power, the space agency's stated goal of establishing a moon base by the end of the decade becomes more difficult to achieve. To begin, there will be a need for a good environment on Mars, which will require tons of cargo to provide everything needed, such as life support systems, food, and so on. Currently, no spaceship can transport people from Earth to Mars. Musk is accomplishing this by building the Starship. Even though the massive rocket is still under construction, many people realize its potential. NASA intends to use it to land American astronauts on the moon. The Pentagon intends to use it to quickly transport military supplies around the world. This new, insane nuclear rocket lowers the cost of space travel. It's referred to as the holy grail of space technology by Musk. When fully assembled, The Starship stands over 400 feet taller than the Saturn V rocket, which carried American astronauts to the moon during NASA's Apollo mission. The Starship will be nearly twice as powerful as the Saturn V and will have a diameter of 30 feet, making it larger than existing orbital vehicles. This will allow for the simultaneous transportation of large amounts of merchandise or a large number of passengers. The gravity of Earth is greater than that of the Moon and Mars. The Starship can take off from those locations on its own, but on Earth it requires the additional power of the Super Heavy stage. The Starship has 6 of the company's cutting-edge Raptor engines, but the Super Heavy has 29 of them, with future versions potentially increasing that to 33. Nuclear rocket engines have been proposed since the 1940s, but the technology has only recently been revisited as a solution for deep space exploration. Most rockets today are powered by chemical engines. These could transport us to Mars, but it would take a long time, at least a 3 years round trip. NASA wants to get there faster in order to reduce the crew's time in space. This would reduce their exposure to space radiation, which can lead to a variety of health issues such as radiation sickness, increased lifetime risk of cancer, central nervous system effects, and degenerative disease. It would also reduce the mission's overall risk. The nuclear thermal propulsion system generates heat from uranium fuel using a nuclear reactor. This thermal energy heats a liquid propellant, typically liquid hydrogen, which expands into a gas and is fired out the back end, producing thrust. As Starship moves closer to orbit, the Super Heavy booster that helped it off the ground returns for a landing near its launch pad. A massive tower, outfitted with mechanical arms dubbed chopsticks by Mr. Musk, will attempt to grab the descending rocket and gently land it. As a result, newer versions of the Super Heavy rocket booster will use up to 33 Raptor V2 engines to further expand the Starship's engine-related capabilities, as opposed to the 29 Raptor V1 engines installed on Super Heavy B4. This will increase the spacecraft's total cargo capacity from approximately 100 to more than 150 tons. The company employs a new approach to rocket development, allowing it to move quickly by testing entire prototypes rather than individual components. True, several prototypes have been destroyed by fire, but the mishaps have allowed SpaceX to learn and respond quickly. Based on its stated dimensions, one could conclude that SpaceX's Starship is the widest rocket ever built. The cross-section of SpaceX's Starship 2.0 is expected to be 4 times larger than that of the Starship 1.0, and its volume will be 9 times larger than that of Starship 1.0. The US Air Force awarded SpaceX a contract with more than $102 million to transport military supplies and humanitarian aid around the world using a rocket on January 22nd to investigate using the spaceship as a cargo ship that could deliver supplies to various regions of the world in minutes, or as point-to-point transportation. Starships could potentially launch into orbit and re-enter over a specific location in 1/10 of the time required by typical military aircraft. The contract includes disaster relief and humanitarian aid deliveries in addition to cargo and supplies for the US military. However, because there aren't spaceports everywhere that disaster strikes, landing a rocket loaded with supplies will be a challenge. After all of the successful planning and launches of Starships to Mars, there is a good chance that SpaceX will launch a larger rocket soon with nuclear power. It is also expected that the next rocket will carry around 1,000 tons of material per launch. As a result, SpaceX will be able to launch rockets capable of carrying 1.764 million pounds of payload to the Moon and Mars. Finally, the massive payload of a future Generation 2 SpaceX Starship could launch factory and advanced manufacturing systems anywhere. The powerful Starship's ability to carry more cargo per trip will allow colonists to receive supplies more quickly, reducing the number of trips required. Musk claimed that full reusability and efficient propellant use would reduce the cost of each Starship 1.0 launch to just $2 million. Musk wants a more powerful version of an already powerful rocket because he needs a more powerful rocket to accelerate his mass ambitions and resolve certain logistical issues. The current Starship, for example, can transport approximately 100 passengers at a time. It would take approximately 10,000 trips to reach his goal of 1 million colonists. With 2.0, he could transport between 800 and 1,000 passengers per journey, drastically reducing the number of trips required. However, it is important to note that a single launch of SpaceX's Starship 2.0 is equivalent to 8 launches of the Starship 1.0. It's also stated that each launch of the Starship 2.0 would require an estimated $8.4 million due to fuel and support costs. However, before sending Starship around the world on its ambitious orbital flight, SpaceX still needs a launch license from the FAA, which requires the company to address all of the environmental issues raised in the agency review. Elon Musk never fails to amaze us with his brilliant ideas, and this nuclear power rocket will undoubtedly rock. We'll probably be on Mars by 2050. Are we really going to colonize Mars? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Bye, and see you in the next video.